you were going to give me a consultation for plastic surgery.
It's not what I do here.
But just if you were, what do you think you would do to my face?
I'd probably start with your mouth.
Like lip filler?
No, I would sew that sucker shut.
Jill would follow you home. Jill would park with the lights down low. Jill would die if she knew. Jill was crazy, but you know too. Jill would
I'm a loser. Your Facebook group is right. I have no life.
What did you ever see in this psycho?
1, 2. Oh, I messed it up. I need a coffee break.
You haven't even clocked in yet.
I haven't been getting paid for any of this. Oh.
Give me a double macchiato.
I brought you some hot chocolate.
Oh, you're interrupting my stream.
Okay, bye, June Squad.
You would wanna set a fight, she'll fake, she would
Well,
fake.
thank you, Chad.
What? Ew.
I heard at the pharmacy got robbed.
What the hell happened in here?
What's your name?
At Forever June on everything except Snap at June Forever.
No, honey, your real life, actual name.
June.
This is not Queen June's private castle.
June the Almighty.
Oh. June?
Oh my God, the poor man that ends up with her.
I think I'm gonna start doing some investigatory work.
Y'all heard anything about a pharmacy getting robbed?
I don't watch the news. All I do is smoke weed.
Do you feel safe here?
Gonna have to.
I'm looking for information.
Hey, baby boo.
June Squad has a lot of time on their hands.
Take it easy. I'll tell you what you want.
What are you doing here?
I'm collecting evidence.
You watch too many movies.
You are not a police officer. Help us out here.
God, mugshots are so sexy. Can I take this home?
No.
You cannot.
You got robbed. You got detained.
This is very serious.
Maybe I should bring him in. Which one of you can deputize me? Twice a day with food. What a cute TikTok bio.
Boom, there you go. That was the trailer for Drugstore June, in limited release right now. Very soon to have a larger release. It's your boy Kuya P. Nerds rule the world. And as you see, joining me is the writer, director, and who Bobby Lee says has one of the best butts in the business right now.
Oh, man, I got back to you guys. God, okay, yeah.
Nicholaus Goossen. Sir, it's a pleasure to chat with you, man. As you can tell, I'm a big Tiger Belly, Trash Tuesday fan. And so when I heard about this through the show, and then when I finally got a chance to watch it, it was a lot of fun for me, because if you're a fan of those podcasts, this is like totally a film for us, I gotta say.
Right. Oh, well, I would think so. I feel like we have just about every single podcaster, comedian in the known universe in this film. So yeah, I think podcast fans are going to get a kick out of seeing them in the movie.
Definitely.
That's
yes. It was like just everybody. Oh, there's that.
Yeah.
So you wrote this film with Esther Povitsky. How did that collaboration come together? Can you tell me the pre-pro, how this all came to be?
Well, I had first seen Esther, believe it or not, on a podcast hosted by the late, great Brody Stevens, who I was a huge fan of. So they had a podcast, an early one, on the earlier side anyway, called Brode and Esther. And they had just such a funny dynamic. I was just kind of instantly smitten with her persona. And I reached out to my manager to find out who she was, what was the deal with her. And he told me, he goes, "Oh, I represent her." I was like, "Oh, thanks for, hooking me up with the cool new people, man." But he did. He actually did. My ex-manager, Lee Curtis, Esther and I, both of our ex-manager, he put us together and we met for burgers. And we love Lee, by the way. We love Lee. Shout out Lee Curtis. who we forgot to put in the special thanks at the end of the credit roll. So please, nerds rule the world. Get this out there.
There you go. Shout out to Lee.
Special thanks. And Esther and I met for burgers, and we hit it off. And then we were working on different projects anytime we could. A lot of stuff at Comedy Central with our friend Jordan Elner, who now works at All Things Comedy and is one of the producers on the film. And we wanted to do something with her as the lead always, because I kept pushing her because I believed in that, and even when she didn't. This particular story had some beginnings in a web series that we were working on for a company that ABC was funding that never even existed, really. So we were starting something, we didn't get to finish it, but we said, hey, maybe we should make this a film because everybody else is trying to make TV shows. Let's go the other way. Took a while. It did take a while. It was years. This is like, I met Esther in 2012, and when we started really seriously kind of working on the script, it was probably 2017.
Wow. I love that you still kind of kept it going, and because a lot of ideas and then friendships, collaborations, things change. We know, especially in this business that we're in, a lot of stuff can happen. But to like keep things afloat and kind of make it, to rework it is always a plus. And and working with friends.
And one thing, because you're a Tiger Belly fan, it was written for Bobby. It was always Bobby. So that role for
Bobby as Bobby, or is Bobby as Esther's part?
Bobby as Bill the pharmacist.
Okay.
So his role, like, even though we had started all that way back, it had always been like, wow. You're a girl who works at the pharmacy, and Bobby is the pharmacist. He's your boss.
Okay. So Esther and Bobby were always it.
Oh, the movie was completely written for Esther. Oh yeah, sorry if I didn't make that clear. No,
got it.
Esther and we built the entire thing as like, okay, what would be the first that we were writing a TV show for her that never ever happened. It was just a web series actually. And that's where like some of the inklings for this. And then we kind of converted some of those ideas to make a feature film. So it was built for Esther from the ground up, and then Bobby Lee's role and Brandon Wardell's role, and also Jackie Sandler's role, actually, were all written specifically for them.
Awesome.
So, and that was from like all the way from the very beginning through.
That's super dope. Super dope. And again, being a Tiger Belly fan, being a fan of all these people you have involved with this, that's exciting to hear. So you made it happen. You got it. You put it together finally, after different iterations. We're going to make it a feature. And then I guess bringing everybody else on board. I know through the show, well, actually, I'll get to that question. But one of the things I was curious, because you brought up Bobby, and who I love as an Asian American. He's like an icon to me as an actor, podcaster. He was one of our first that really made it. But I know through the podcast, and I think he was on Trash Tuesday last week, as of this recording, that he was having some difficult times filming this personally. What was that like? He always gets typecast, and one of the things he loved was that he get to play a little bit different in this. What was that like with Bobby on the project?
Well, first of all, I had no idea of the specifics of what he was going through. All I knew was I just thought he was being a typical Bobby on set. I had no idea there was a Ritalin shortage or this was happening. I didn't know anything about that. Okay, so get that on the record. I'm just hearing about that now in these interviews. So that makes more sense when he says that now. I'm like, oh, well, yeah, okay. He was going through Ritalin withdrawals when we were trying to shoot that scene. Makes a lot of sense now. But as you've probably heard, it was really just that first day in that one scene, and he did because of the Ritalin incident, he got the scenes mixed up, and that is how our start got off to a little bit rocky. But it was from there was smooth sailing, and I mean, like I said, we wrote it for Bobby, so it was always. And you got it exactly right. we wanted him to play against that because everybody just wants Bobby to come in and be like the wacky, crazy guy. And I just personally, for me, I always thought Bobby is funniest just when I'm with him is when he just stares at you. I mean, so I just wanted to kind of like create a character around him, just kind of like looking at June and like looking at Esther and being like, this girl is just out of her mind. You know what I mean? So that was the kind of vibe we were going for. And, he might have struggled against that at first, but no, I think it's great to show another side of him. I mean, that's part of what's fun about doing indie movies for actors is that, okay, yeah, you're not getting paid a lot, so you might as well be able to flex your muscles creatively, so and that's what he got to do.
I love it. I think it was awesome. And I think it was it feels like a bunch of friends making a film, even though it's an independent film and it's fun film. And, there's a lot of, for us fans of those podcasts, it's really cool. But it feels, you come from the Happy Madison family, where a lot of those guys work together. I feel like this is a start with All Things Comedy in a way that I hope this is a sign of future films from All Things Comedy.
You're picking up on a lot of the right themes, Patrick, and who wouldn't want to pattern themselves after Happy Madison with the success that they've had and Adam and the culture he's created over there. And yeah, I have been fortunate enough to kind of grow up in that culture and learn a tremendous amount from Adam, working at the company for so many years and still working with the company. And that it feels natural to make watching Adam all these years and seeing how he puts the movies together. It feels second nature to just work with your friends because these things are so hard if you're just at a certain level, yes, of course you're working with strangers, and we worked with I worked with a ton of people who I'd never worked with on this project, which was great, behind and in front of the camera. But yes, I think All Things Comedy, they certainly have a wide range of a huge network of comedians under their umbrella that they work with. And perhaps this could be a bit of a prototype for the future of independent comedy in cinemas, and perhaps it's not just streaming or bust for comedy, hopefully, and only just mega budgeted stuff. This was also done for a really low budget in a fast amount of time in Los Angeles. And it's the same way we did Grandma's Boy. You bring up Happy Madison, it was the same type of, approach. To get all these people, it's kind of hard to get them to go fly across the country or go fly in other cities. You kind of need them to be able to just wake up from their bed and drive to set and go home to their bed or their kids or their families. So I do hope more production is also, centered here in Los Angeles and Southern California. I just think there's a reason why people have been doing that for so long. And I think the answer is maybe not to chase the tax credits, but to just do it more inexpensively here in town.
Fingers crossed. I can't wait. Yeah, I think this is a great mold from you. You already know. And I hope this is the start of many amazing things to come. Definitely. So again, I really enjoyed it. A lot of highlights. We're seeing a lot of people I know. You wrote the script. You're working with Esther. You're working with Bob. You're working with this amazing team. You're amazing yourself. What was there any elements within it that you're having fun with? I know there's a lot of moments that I had a lot of fun laughing. I think there's so many appearances that I think will like highlight people if they weren't aware of certain folks that are in this.
Sure.
Like people are gonna fall in love with Miss Pat. If they didn't know Miss Pat, they're gonna fall in love with Miss Pat. They didn't know Esther. If they didn't know Bobby, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I really am looking forward to, since I'm already a fan of everyone, how the rest of the audience is going to take it once they see this film. If you can speak on some highlights for you.
Well, I mean, when you talk about just like how, like, what am I anticipating the reaction of the audience for the most, besides just the overall reaction to the film, it would be, of course, I do think it's going to be a lot of people are going to discover Esther through this movie, obviously as the star of the movie, and it is her first film. A lot of people in the cast have been in movies, Miss Pat, of course. Yeah, I think people are going to love her. I wish Miss Pat could have been more in the movie. We just didn't have enough time. I'm very excited for people to find Esther if they haven't ever seen her before, and also for her fans that do know her to be able to see her in all of her cinematic glory up on the big screen, where it's just a completely different ball game. We just had the premiere here in Los Angeles last night, or 2 nights ago now, and little foggy from it still. And it was just so great I hadn't really watched it with a crowd on a big screen yet, and certainly at the Chinese theaters they have just a wonderful, gigantic screen, and it's fun to see comedies in a movie theater with an audience, and so I hope people go seek this out, and we can kind of tell everybody that no, this is something that you should still invest in, and that there still is a market for, and have some fun with like a horror movie. I do think comedies in a group setting are even more impactful.
Definitely. It's always fun to laugh with other people. So much fun. Again, like I was saying, so many amazing periods. Bad Barbie was in there. Speaking, you were talking about the premiere, I just saw I think it might have been on your Twitter or IG, but it was like seeing Esther pregnant, and I didn't know Bad Barbie was pregnant. Like, hilarious. But
everybody was getting pregnant after our
something's in the water. Got to stay out of there.
Yeah, I was editing the movie and they're getting pregnant. So many amazing folks are in this. Again, looking forward to seeing how it translates to people that aren't already fans. But we're gonna come in with full force and make sure it does well. But just the whole experience. Was there anything? Actually, I was losing my question. Seeing it all, you edited it all. You wrote it. Production floor, as a filmmaker myself, certain stuff has to hit the cutting room floor. Was there anything that didn't make it, that maybe was a little too much? Was there a little too much improv that happened, or was it everything written? Because you got so many talented folks involved with this, and I'm sure you kind of maybe for one cut you let them just kind of roll with it. Sure. Yeah, there were definitely takes where we were like, just say whatever. And a lot of improv, a lot of little lines did make it into the movie. There's a ton of little flourishes in there. Long extended improv sequences. Surprisingly enough, there was a nice long exchange there with Bill Burr and Esther Povitsky where they were throwing it back and forth, and they kept doing different stuff every take, and that was a lot of fun to do. But a lot of the time, we pretty much stuck to the script because we were pretty happy with it, but of course, like I said, everybody did add their embellishments. As far as what hit the cutting room floor, not a lot. Certainly, like little bits, maybe a line here, a line there in a scene. As far as an entire scene, there was one scene early in the movie with Jonathan and June, played by Brandon Wardell and Esther Povitsky, that we did lose. A quick little scene that maybe might have another life on Blu-ray one day as a bonus feature or somewhere else. And also a little tiny sequence within the bar sequence where June actually sings karaoke. That was probably maybe the biggest thing that I got cut, was the little karaoke thing. We shot it. We didn't have a lot of time to shoot it. I was never really we couldn't get the song that we always had in the script. As you saw, there was a lot of music in the movie or heard, and that's a lot of work too, just to clear all those songs. So, and that one was a song that we had to have ready as we were shooting because she's singing it on camera. So that was really all that hit the floor, really. Otherwise, it's pretty much the shooting script.
Awesome. Well, again, enjoyed it, and I can see some of your music video flourishes with some of those sequences too. Ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
filmmaker to filmmaker, you can see that stuff.
Patrick, it took every single little bit of experience I've ever had, from music videos to commercials, television, and my other features, to be able to pull this movie off the way we did So it's cool that you saw that, because every little piece of work that I have done leading up to this, it certainly informed this movie, you know, so.
Bravo, man. Great job. Again, everybody, Drugstore June limited release right now. Go to drugstorejune.com. I have all the links in the description below so you can find out where it's playing before it gets a wider release. Before I let you go, Nick, again, bravo, great work. Can't wait to see what you're going to do next. Can't wait for everybody else to see this. But again, I'm hoping this is a sign of things to come from ATC, All Things Comedy. With having worked with so many amazing folks in this, I was kind of curious because they're also like your friends. You worked in Esther, and you just said Esther and Bobby were always it. But like with some of the collaborations and some of the people that you got involved with this, was there anything that inspired a possible future film to come up out of this, or not tied to this, but maybe the talent you could, did you get inspired creatively to maybe write something else from some of the people you met on this?
Yeah, there actually is talk about a little bit of a spin-off. I mean, well, certainly everybody in the movie are somebody that there are people that I would be interested in working with in the future. Obviously Esther and I perhaps certainly would be interested in making another film, and we do have some ideas. And I also forgot to mention that, yeah, the bad baby part actually was written for her as well. So that part was kind of tailored for her a little bit. Once we knew it was going to be her, then we kind of tailored the dialogue for her. And she wants to act a lot more, and I wouldn't be opposed to putting her in something. But no, there are talks about maybe spinning off some of these characters into a different project, actually. Those discussions are happening right now, and ATC is involved in that, and we'll see what happens, you know. I think something like that would definitely depend on the success of the film. So we'll see. So everybody needs, if you want to see more of this type of stuff, go see Drugstore June.
There you go. Yes, y'all, go see it, because yeah, I think there's so much talent. Being a fan of all those shows, like I want to see the Trash Tuesday girls make their own movie. You know, Esther, Kalila, everybody. You know, just it would be fun to explore just the amazing talents that are there. Nicholaus Goossen, man, a pleasure to chat with you, brother. Amazing job, bravo, everybody. Check out Drugstore June right now. Drugstorejune.com, limited release. Find out where it's at. Go see it. Let's make it happen. All Things Comedy. Shout out to y'all, everybody. Your boy Kuya P. Nerds Rule the World.
See you guys.
All right, there's a cut. Thank you so much. Shout. Thank you, Nick. Cool, man. Pleasure to chat with you. All right. I'm going to count us in to help me with my edit because I'm going to put the trailer right in front of our conversation.
Cool.
All right, here we go. In a 1, 2, 3.